Hello, I'm Matthew Swanson, the Director of Choruses for the Cincinnati May Festival, and I'm joined by our 2026 Festival Director, Julia Bullock. Welcome to Cincinnati, Julia.
Thank you, Matthew.
I'm so looking forward to May and the festival that you have helped us to curate for Cincinnati and all the folks who are going to travel to see it. But I wonder if we could start by talking a little bit more about you. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you came to be here in Cincinnati with us.
Well, yes, my name is Julia Bullock. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, originally. My home is in Munich, Germany now. But my musical journey, or my singing journey anyway, began, I think, before I can remember. And I went on to study music at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, and then at Bard College for their master's in vocal arts. And then at Juilliard, which is where I also met my husband, who is a conductor. And then, yes, I've been singing just about all of my life.
And speaking of your home in Munich, you have truly an international career, singing and concertizing all around the world in all kinds of venues for all kinds of organizations. What has that been like?
Intense, challenging, but ultimately, it's exactly the life that I've wanted to lead. Or I feel very fortunate because I've been able to work with extraordinary artists, extraordinary directors, conductors, and the range of repertoire and experiences that I've had, from opera to recital work, has felt really personal.
We both love singing.
Yeah.
Why do you love singing?
What?
Why do you love singing?
Why? Oh, goodness. Well, I love music because it encourages me to listen. The communication piece is like the primary focus. Singing as my daily practice, I love, because it gives me an opportunity to become really coordinated in my thoughts, in my actions. However many infinite ideas can come into your mind, eventually all need to be channeled in some way, and again, just organized in some way. So however many words there are in a piece of music, or however many notes, everything just becomes really channeled and centered. And I guess, yeah, maybe I need that for bel canto singing, or the singing that is required for a lot of classical Western European music, or classical American music. The goal, I think, is to liberate one's voice, one's body, so that the breath is moving freely, and then all of the thoughts and ideas about the music and poetry can also move freely. So, yeah, I guess the liberation and freedom that I feel when everything's in motion and really working is satisfying. And not without its challenges, but just really satisfying. But what do you love about singing?
I've never thought of myself as a singer. When I was a really little kid, my first musical endeavor, I guess, was playing the piano, which I was never all that great at. And I always did sing, but I started playing the trumpet very seriously, and I felt good at it, and I felt like I was fluent in the language of the trumpet. So I still didn't consider myself a singer, and in some ways I still don't, but I can't imagine not singing. And there's something about singing being so close to speech and so close to speaking as a form of communication that I find very compelling. And I love that you can take singing with you wherever you go. I remember going on a choir tour in college, and I'd been on lots of band trips, but then we went on a choir trip, and the distinct lack of stuff that we had to bring with us was such a difference for me. It's like, oh, wow, we're getting on the bus. We are the choir. We are the sound. And of course, that's true for bands and orchestras as well, but it is true in a different way for singing. I think that we were literally carrying the sound with us. And something about that has grabbed me and never quite let me go. And I think my favorite moments of singing were actually the moments where I couldn't sing. I remember being on stage for the first orchestra rehearsal of Mahler 2, and I had been waiting years to get to sing Mahler Symphony No. 2, and I was so excited, and I could hardly sing the first time the orchestra came in full force at the end because it was so magical and odd that that moment of non-singing actually is one of my favorite moments of singing. But
you were struck.
I was struck. I was struck. I was speechless in that brief moment. And I think chasing those moments and the joy of those moments and the something inexpressible and ineffable about those moments, all of which I tend to experience as part of a chorus, being with other groups of people, really magical and make me feel a way that I can't feel, make me express in a way that I can't express in any other way. So I think that's what I love about singing.
And what is the experience like as a guide for the many voices that are in front of you?
I like that word, guide. I feel selfish sometimes because when you are in a chorus, particularly a large chorus like the May Festival chorus, you know that you're part of a large whole, but you often can't really hear the totality of what's happening. You hear the people around you and you might hear the orchestra or whatever, but you don't get a full picture of the sound. And I, in my great fortune, get to sit out in the audience in the rehearsal process or in the rehearsal room on the podium, and I get to hear the totality of that and become an ardent consumer, an ardent appreciator of what that totality is, and I feel so fortunate in that regard. I feel moved by the human endeavor that goes into that, particularly for our chorus, people who do this because they love it and carve out time in their busy lives to come together and make something beautiful. So I really feel that the 3 hours we have on Tuesday nights are precious time, and I wish on so many occasions that I could have shared what I heard and what I felt with them while they're making it, and I hope they have glimpses of that as we go along in our process.
Well, I've seen you now only conduct one rehearsal thus far, but I think it's communicated, even if you're not speaking it.
Oh, thank you. I love listening to people sing, too, and not just classical music, all kinds of music. I have several text threads or chats with my friends where we're sharing clips of people singing back and forth in all kinds of styles, all kinds of traditions, all kinds of levels of ability, and it's just amazing. The versatility of the human voice is endless.
It is endless.
Truly is endless. And that is a pursuit I find endlessly fascinating.
Do you sing every day?
I do sing every day. I think even without thinking about it.
Me too.
And not just in, standing in my living room practicing an aria kind of way, but in the natural humming and improvisatory way that singing finds itself as part of my day. I do sing every day. And then, of course, I sing when I'm practicing music to become sympathetic with what I'm going to ask the chorus to do. And that also is a great gift and a great practice. I like the word you used earlier, practice, not just activity as a personal rehearsal, but a practice as a daily ritual or a daily habit that I choose to be in. What would you say to encourage people to sing more, to put more singing into their life?
Listen to others. I have a 3-year-old, and right now it's like just listening to him patter anything or repeat a word over and over because he just finds it intriguing and fun. And it's like, yeah, all right. And then I want to start riffing off of that, and we'll like build a song. Or even just in more like concrete ways. Like, you don't want to get your shoes on? Well, There's a shoe, here's a shoe. My goodness, I'm a shoe. I need to find a foot. Which foot should I find? And it's like just everything shifts the minute a melody is introduced because it's not stuck anywhere. It just starts. Go ahead.
It seems to travel.
It just travels.
Singing has a traveling quality to it. It has a transporting quality. Maybe is an even better word.
That's it.
To use that.
And I guess, this desire to be transported regularly, that turns me on to no end. So I think if you're open to that idea or even just desire to be transported, that'll get you singing every day.
Yes, it will. Your life and your work as a curator, in addition to appearing on stage in any number of guises, you've also worked at many institutions, concert presenting organizations around the world to design, and in some cases design and present your own material. How is that different from being a singer, and how do you start that process?
It doesn't feel that different from being a singer because I'm researching material all the time. I love music, I love poetry, I'm pretty obsessed with it, and I immerse myself in it all the time. So, and I take notes about pieces that strike me. I have just ongoing lists and organizing them by theme or topic, and just sort of waiting for ideas to emerge. So it's really awesome the first time that I was invited to be an artist in residence was at the Metropolitan Museum in New York. And that came out of the presenter who ran Met Live Arts attending a recital that I gave. And she was excited by how I curated that recital and how clear the, I guess, messaging was of it. And it was never, artist residencies have never been presented to me as like, show us who you are. We are a great institution. How do you fit in? The invitation has always been, or I've interpreted it as, these are the spaces that are available. Here are our histories. Imagine as much as you want, as broadly as you want, and then let's see what's possible. So I have to do that kind of, I guess, obsessive sort of researching. I want to understand the context that I'm entering. If I am going to be curating, then place that alongside some of the things that I am fixated on at the present moment. And just seeing if there are any common threads of resonance there. So I will say that with the May Festival, it's been extraordinary because that process of like honing in on certain projects, usually I might talk to some people, but it's kind of in solitude. Mm. I did my fair amount of research for this, but then when I said, like, my expertise is vocal music, but not necessarily choral music, can I have this support, this support, this support, or this resource, or whatever? You were right there. And, you actually are an expert, not just on choral music, but also on the May Festival. And it was such a relief to have a partner. So when I came in with an idea, and a clear idea about just a piece that I knew I wanted to do, but then finding out how to fill out either the rest of that program, and then exchanging ideas back and forth, speaking really honestly about the music and how it was landing, how it would piece together. It has just been so fun. And it's rare. It's kind of a first for me, particularly with somebody with whom I will be performing. And yeah, that's cool. It's been really cool.
It has been really cool. I think I, of course, did research on you in the course of getting ready to plan this festival and all those kinds of things. And so it was fun to talk to you about the work you had done elsewhere and how you might bring that into what we're doing in Cincinnati, but also to learn more about you as a musician and a creative person and what kinds of repertoire you like that I hadn't seen in other places or other programs that we could bring to life. And also just the stuff that we agreed about and disagreed about in some cases.
When did we ever disagree? No, I'm serious. Did you actually share those things with me?
I think, some things about what pieces would pair well together, or the order of something, or even the order of concerts in the festival. We talked about that, not only the two of us, but with other members of our staff at length. So I guess I wouldn't call them disagreements as much as differences of opinion to find out how we might organize this music in the most effective way possible. But to discover new pieces of repertoire that I was not familiar with, it's always a joy. And now I have an even longer list of things that I hope we get to do at some point in the future. But let's talk about the festival, the May Festival. What are you most excited about at this May Festival?
All of it. Honestly, I'm just really excited to hear the May Festival chorus. A group of volunteers with that much passion, who carry so much like bliss with them.
Yes.
And into their singing, like into just every time they get a chance to come together to sing, it's like this blissful energy. And wow, like that is not common. So yeah, I think I'm really just excited to hear this chorus, and also to the many choirs who will also be joining in over the course of the 2 weeks.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the May Festival Chorus. I'd like to give myself the title of biggest fan of the May Festival Chorus.
We'll get you a mug.
I would love a mug, a medal, because this is an amazing group of people, all the way from people who graduated from high school a year or two ago and are singing while they're in college, to people who've been in this chorus for more than 50 years. And who sang at the 100th anniversary of the May Festival and the 150th anniversary of the May Festival. All coming together on Tuesday nights, many nights throughout the year, something like 45,000 collective hours of time together to bring this repertoire to life. They are the heart and the soul and the very voice of this festival, as they have been since 1873. And to get to spend every Tuesday night with them to work on this repertoire is an amazing gift, and I don't take that for granted at all. And I always tell people, someone you know, your friend, your neighbor, a relative, a coworker, is in the chorus, and you should come and hear them at this festival, which is unique. It doesn't happen anywhere else in this way. Come and hear them perform these incredible works of music and celebrate this active community. And I hope people will come to this festival to enjoy that. We have quite a multidisciplinary festival. We're doing a lot of different kinds of music. One thread that is woven throughout this festival in overt and covert ways is the poetry of Langston Hughes. What does Langston Hughes and his art mean to you?
There are so many composers who have been inspired by Hughes's writing. And I think part of that is because he wanted to be a composer himself with music, not just with word and lyric. And so in that way, or it's like this idea that attaching a melody to words makes it land or makes synapses ignite. that's something Hughes intended. And there's just, he wrote about, as every writer who's deep in reflection, they comment on the many aspects of the human experience. Sometimes really concisely, and sometimes in like the most expansive forms. So Hughes has just come up over and over and over again over the course of my years in studying music. And so yeah, I guess it was no real surprise when thinking about a festival that was founded in America, but has roots also in immigration and trying to find one's place. Yeah, made sense that his voice landed here.
I feel similarly, I think, about the poetry of Walt Whitman, which figures prominently, of course, in the Sea Symphony of Vaughan Williams and in other choral works of Vaughan Williams, which we've presented in the past, but returning to not only the music of the Sea Symphony, but also the text itself, which is musical in its own way, I find so deeply satisfying. Particular lines or fragments of poetry, even after they've been altered by Vaughan Williams, which truly speak to me. I love that he references singing so often. There's this amazing passage in the fourth movement where he says, after the seas all are crossed, after the great captains have accomplished their work, after the noble inventors, finally will come the poet, worthy that name, singing his songs, which is an amazing thing to think about. This long period of invention and strife, we will then see a flowering of art and expression. It's so gratifying to me. And to have that sung on the stage, these messages also of humanity, one flag above all the rest, the humanity that unites us all, deeply moving, I have to say. And I look forward, the chorus has already been rehearsing that. I look forward to continuing to mine that work for meaning as the months go by. We also have some dance elements. I wonder if you could talk about how much you're enjoying that aspect of our festival planning.
Well, actually, it's thinking of identity and my relationship to music. I actually think my love of music came through embodying it with movement and dance. And Les Noces by Stravinsky is a piece that I adore for many reasons. It's ritualistic and wild and scary and like assaulting, actually. To see that, well, to feel it in the musical material is like, that is all there. But to then see moving bodies taking all of that in and thrusting it out, I think is just going to be extraordinary. And one part of this festival that I wanted to ensure is that we were including both international and local artists, because that has been a part of the legacy of the festival forever.
Absolutely.
And I just think it is so great that we have invited the ballet, who has a wonderful reputation of its own, but to be fully incorporated into one of these main concerts. I just remember when we were in our initial conversations about the piece Les Noces, I wasn't sure what it was going to go with. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's 4 pianos and percussion? Do we commission work? What do we do? And you're like, well, do you know this piece by Orff? Do you know Orff's Carmina? And I was like, yeah, everyone knows that. And he said, no, the other one with 4 pianos and percussion. I was like, no, what are you talking about? And when you're saying like learning new repertoire, that is the thrill of like when you find a piece that shakes you and strikes you in the first 10 seconds. I mean, that's the thrill, I think, for any musician. And that's how I felt listening to
Catulle Carmina.
Catulle Carmina for the first time. Again, this pairing, which of course in some ways is super obvious, but I don't know if it has been done before or at least not in a long time. So yeah, that is just going to be. It's going to be.
I'm very excited about that concert for many reasons.
Well, you're conducting it.
I am conducting it. That's very exciting. I look forward to that very much. Les Noces is actually a May Festival debut. It's never been done at the May Festival before.
I'm sorry, I know that you did tell me that. I just forgot. Oh,
no.
That's good for saying again.
And
Yes.
the May Festival has a vast performed repertoire. So finding important works, and Les Noces is easily one of the most important and influential works of the 20th century that we've not performed and bringing to the stage is a joy. Orff quite obviously had Les Noces in mind when he wrote this piece. And Carmina Burana has been done many, many times here. So to give the audience a chance to experience a new side of Carl Orff in a very highly theatrical side of Carl Orff, a play within a play in the course of this piece, I think will be quite thrilling.
It's
so
really explicit language.
Yes, explicit language and songs of Catullus. The title translates to Catullus, a groundbreaking poet in his own time, speaking to things that still feel relevant today, no matter what translation you read. And I find Les Noces compelling for similar reasons. When we think of wedding music, Les Noces in French, the wedding, when we think of weddings, we often think of the music we often hear at weddings, Pachelbel's Canon or Midsummer Night's Dream Wedding March. But if you think about someone trying to illustrate the intensity of wedding rituals and what it means for a room full of people to be trying to get the bride's hair done and trying to get the groom's hair done and like getting us to the church on time, and what a wedding reception would sound like if you tried to capture all the bits of conversation. Stravinsky has done that in this extraordinary, modernist, and completely individualistic way. And people should not miss the chance to come in and hear that. Thank you so much for being here. It's been delightful to have you in Cincinnati in advance of the festival. And I'm so looking forward to the 2026 festival coming up in just really a few weeks' time. All the work that you've done up to this point to bring this amazing festival to life, and all the work that you will do, both on stage and off, to bring our cherished Cincinnati tradition to this audience. Thank you.
It's my honor.